How's it going, everybody? Your world champion is here, and that's right, we're back with more Dragon Ball. Talk about the next couple arcs in Dragon Ball because, hey, I don't have too much deep to say about a lot of stuff. These are two kind of small arcs that we could just kind of talk about in the same video. You know, why not? Budget. This is Dragon Ball. We'll just do it live and all that stuff. So, last we talked about all this, we finished the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, and Goku went off with the Dragon Radar to find the 4-star ball. But there are people that are still after the Dragon Balls. There's Emperor Pilaf with his gang, but now there's an army here. That's right, we are talking first about the Red Ribbon Army arc. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, this is usually the time in my Dragon Ball revisits that things start kind of getting a little slow. Now, it does get to a point where it's like, all right, the pace picks up, the action picks up, the overall like energy of the show picks up. But yeah, the beginning of the Red Ribbon Army arc, at least for me, is kind of slow. And it starts with Colonel Silver here, who we kind of get a little bit of a build up with him, you know, him being like a street boxer or whatever. Fine, awesome. We get some filler with him and Pilaf where, you know, he doesn't really beat up Pilaf, but he does get the Dragon Ball away from him. And there's some monkey business going on, but of course he's only here for fodder, only here as an introduction to the Red Ribbon Army for Goku to easily defeat and all that. But he also blows up the Nimbus Cloud, so that's a feat, I guess. He might have been, you know, KO'd, like, completely, like, no Dragon Balls are gonna bring him back anytime soon. Colonel Silver, like, is a slow arc, like, a very slow part of the arc, maybe, like, a couple episodes, but even those couple episodes, I always kind of dread getting to, because I'm like, ugh, it's just this. And it just kind of crawls a little bit, you know, unlike the rest of this arc, especially when we get to the general white stuff. So Goku now is heading up north. He's going to get the next Dragon Ball. Hopefully it's his grandfather's. He has a nice little robot guy to drive an airplane for him, since he doesn't have the Nimbus Cloud. Faulty robot wiring for the winner, I guess, because that thing freezes, crashes, and Goku's left to his own. He gets rescued by a girl named Sinnoh, who has a huge, massive crush on him, but Goku's not here for any of that. He's here to get the Dragon Balls, and this is where he learns just who this army is. He finds out that, you know, they're the Red Ribbon Army, and they're kind of causing people a lot of harm only to get these Dragon Balls. Goku, being the innocent, pure person he is, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that people are getting hurt for others being selfish and all that. He hates that. So yeah, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go beat him up because, hey, I'm looking for my grandpa's Dragon Ball, and I'm not gonna make a wish. You know, I'll collect them, sure, but I just want my grandpa's ball. I just want the 4-star Dragon Ball. So he heads on out to Muscle Tower, and this is one of those tropes I really like in anime or manga or any other series, like live action, all that stuff. I like something that has like a stage of progression, I like to call it. So like with Muscle Tower, there's different levels. There's, you know, the ground floor with all the hoodlums just out there trying to keep Goku from getting inside. Then, you know, we have level 2, which, you know, a bit more goons just gooning around. And yes, I do know what gooning means, so we're just gonna leave it at that, internet. Then we get to level 3 with Major Metallotron here, and he's a bit of a force for Goku. Like, he's somebody that like keeps him in check. Is he strong? I mean, not entirely, because his whole big thing is he's a robot, so he doesn't stop. Or I guess an android cyborg. It gets a little messy here, but yeah, he just doesn't know how to stop. And Goku, no matter how many Kamehameha waves he does, just can't seem to stop the bot. Until the bot just stops itself. Moving on to level 4, which has got to be, if you've never seen old school Dragon Ball, if you've never seen this series, you've only seen GBZ, you've only seen GT, only Super. First of all, why did you only see Super? Why did you only see GT when Z's right there, when old school Dragon Ball's right there? Because I guarantee you, even in modern times, mind you, this fight that Goku has with Ninja Murasaki has got to be the funniest fight, the funniest confrontation I have ever seen in the series. My god, I could go blow for this, where like there's a part where Murasaki hold on, he tries to hide from Goku, and he tells him, hey, you count to 20, or no, I think it was 30. Goku like gets to like 25, and he's like, turns around and is just like, What comes after 25? And you see Ninja Murasaki trying to get underneath this rock. He's just like, why are you peeking? And like the funniest bit though with that is like the whole setup too is like you see him like as Goku's drowning, he's like running around like, oh, like you see like the speed lines going by and all that, like he's running trying to find a hiding spot, and yet Goku turns around and Murasaki's just like 2 feet away from him trying to get under a rock. It's so fun. There's other bits too in there that I don't want to butcher in here. Like it's so funny, so lighthearted, which is funny because like you're in this like very kind of serious situation where it's like this army is killing people. Like they do not hesitate in like shooting somebody if they piss them off. And then you just have this stupid fight. The best part is you have General White like looking on the cameras and on the communication, like on the comms in the room. He's just like, Murasaki, you're supposed to be strong, you're supposed to be cunning, you're supposed to be like this great ninja. What the heck are you doing right now? Like what is even going through your head, dude? It ends up leading to Ninja Murasaki unleashing the first android, at least by name, named android. I don't know. We get Aider, android number 8. He gets released. He's a pacifist. He's gonna join Goku in this fight through Muscle Tower. Great, awesome. Moving right on, because hey, Aider at least helps Goku through the next maze, because the next floor is a maze. And what's cool about this too is like General White's kind of cheating because he has like a wall that he has a button for, and when he presses it, it'll change from like going like this to like blocking this way. So like Goku and Aider end up having to like split off, and they have to like, that's how they get around it, because like Aider like stays back, he goes back the other way, stops the wall, and hey, we can get through now. Hooray! But we don't go into level 5 until we get to the top. We're gonna skip level 5 right now, because on the top floor there's General White, and he has a gun. That's his big defense against Goku and Aider. But no, he has a trapdoor instead. Down to level 5 with Bouillon, and we get this fight. Well, I don't want to say it's a fight because it's really not much of a fight. Because Bouillon, he's just like this big blob. Like if you know Blob from the X-Men, it's kind of like that. Like, and by kind of I mean it pretty much is that. So like Bouillon, he can basically absorb a Kamehameha wave. There's that. He can bounce back your attacks. He can't be physically harmed. So what does Goku do? He realizes, I remember when I was cold and I was stiff. Wait a minute, there's a window right there. I'm gonna bust it up. I'm gonna bust this wall down. I'm gonna let all the cold air in, and the cold air is enough to freeze Bouillon for Goku to just punch him and get him and Aider out of there. They do save the mayor, thank Jeebus, but nah, General White's not having any of this. And we start to get to see a little bit more of Goku's naivety. And we didn't get much of this with like the Colonel Silver fight. With this General White confrontation, we see that Goku is still very naive. He believes people's words. He thinks that, you know, people do mean well, but General White, again, he just has that gun that just blows Goku away. I mean, it doesn't kill him or anything, it just knocks him out. But like, this pisses off Aider enough to like punch General White and send him out the tower. They bust up the tower. Tower's gone. Goku finds a Dragon Ball, on and ever to brighter places. Because hey, we got a new Nimbus cloud who's here. Apparently Goku never called the Nimbus after it got blown up by Colonel White, or excuse me, Colonel Silver. I'm getting my Red Ribbon Army people mixed up. But yeah, so with a new Nimbus cloud and a new heading, because hey, now he has to go to West City because the Dragon Radar is busted. He has to go find Bulma, and she has to fix it, and he does. And I love this episode when Goku goes to the city, because like, again, he's a country bumpkin going into a big old city with like big tall buildings and fast cars and all this stuff, and hijinks ensue. Like Goku beats up Bruce Lee for money. Cool, awesome. He gives all that money to some girl who was able to tell him where a police officer was. Also, he could find Bulma, and they find Bulma, and it turns out Bulma is the daughter of a very famous scientist, a very rich scientist. So yeah, she comes from money. Money. She ends up fixing Dragon Radar. There's some other filler that deals with Husky trying to steal the Dragon Balls, and comedy ensues. I'd say watch that. I mean, I don't have anything to say about the whole Husky part of this arc. But here we have General Blue. And this is kind of a tale of like multiple parts. So now with Bulma, with Goku, going to get the new Dragon Ball now. Turns out it's underneath the ocean. And they don't have a submarine because Bulma was a big old dumb, and she grabbed the wrong capsule case, grabbed her dad's, and her dad's is just filled with nudie magazines. So that's cool. That's fun. Now we need a submarine. And hey, Master Roshi lives nearby. Let's go visit Master Roshi. Let's see what he has to do. Let's see what he has to say. Maybe he could help us. So this is where we enter with Master Roshi, Krillin, Launch, and Turtle if you want to throw him in there for relevancy. And yeah, we get our submarine at the price of a watch that makes you smaller. I am not going into more detail with that with Master Roshi because this is the creepiest thing that he's ever done. Moving on from that little plot line, Krillin joins the gang and they all get in the submarine, and you know, smiles are happening because hey, we're near some pirate treasure. Let's grab some treasure while we're at it. Let's get some riches and get rich and have all that monies to us. But Goku forgot to mention, especially to Bulma, who's been with him for like a hot minute, Red Ribbon Army is right close to Goku. And we have our next general, again, General Blue, who is basically like James from Pokemon, if you remember him. Yeah, Blue chases after Goku, they end up in the Pirate Cove, and these pirates that we see, well, we don't see the pirates because they've kicked the bucket, but they've left a lot of traps for our heroes. So like there's a bunch of like arrows they have to go through in the Indiana Jones style. There's like a whole port down there with like a pirate robot, like that, which actually puts up a really good fight against Goku and Krillin. Like it's a good wall for them to bust up. And we have General Blue, who basically goes through his whole army, his whole platoon, just to get to Goku and the Dragon Ball. And yeah, unfortunately Goku doesn't meet up with General Blue first. We actually get Krillin versus General Blue, which, alright, fine match, fine little fight, alright, cool, neat. But we start to see, and we start to realize that, like, Krillin now is almost like the Worf of this. No, that would be more of Yamcha's job. Yeah, Yamcha's the Worf of Dragon Ball, but we'll get to that wherever we cross it. Krillin's playing the role of Worf right now, where it's just like, okay, we know that Krillin is strong. We know he's, like, probably the third strongest that we know of so far, because hey, he trained with Goku, he trained with Master Roshi, everything's fine and dandy with the world. But General Blue has some tricks up his sleeve, and we see that he has like this power where he can like paralyze you. It gets Krillin, and General Blue's able to beat up Krillin a bit before Goku shows up, and Goku also kind of falls to the paralyzed thing, and General Blue does almost win. He does, but luck have it, the Pirate Cove is sinking, it's, you know, caving in and all that. We gotta get out of here, we gotta get the Dragon Ball, move everybody, get the fudge out of here. And luckily for Goku, there was a nice little mouse there to just scare General Blue. Again, this is Dragon Ball, where like funny shit happens throughout the series. And like, yeah, Goku may have gotten lucky with that little mouse. He saved the mouse, but I mean, hey, luck has a place in a fight as well. And Goku and Blue end up chasing each other because hey, Goku needs the Dragon Ball and General Blue has it, and like they end up going so fast, they end up like busting through, I guess, a portal or something. I don't know. He ends up busting through like the forbidden door, if you will. And they end up in Penguin Village. Now, if you don't know what Penguin Village is, back in the 80s, maybe late 70s, but definitely in the 80s, Akira Toriyama had another series before Dragon Ball, something called Dr. Slump. And this was, you know, full-on comedy series, cool, neat, awesome. Japan loved it. I'm sure it was fine, but hey, Goku and General Blue made it to Penguin Village, and this is like one of those episodes, or like this was a couple episodes in Dragon Ball, and a couple chapters too, but whatever. But this is basically your run-of-the-mill cameo episode where it's like, oh no, we're in this other world, and I'm sure like some of these characters are big cameos for people and all that, like this dumpy-looking superhero dude and these aliens that are picking up trash. Like I'm sure they're like some fun cameos for people, but for somebody like me who never experienced Dr. Slump, sorry, cool cameo, but I'm not here for it. But we do see a Raleigh, and I'm not gonna lie, kind of got a little emotional with it, especially with recent memories and all that, and recent things going on in real life with Akira Toriyama's passing and all that. Like this kind of hit a little harder than usual, and I think I had a tweet saying that too. It's like I don't know, man. Like it's hard to really like put into words because it's like you have Goku, who's probably one of Toriyama, if not Toriyama's greatest creation, and then you have Dr. Slump, which was like this. It was a series that kind of like kickstarted Toriyama in Jump at least, and I mean, without Dr. Slump, there wouldn't be a Dragon Ball. I mean, I'm just gonna throw that out there. So it's kind of cool seeing that these two do interact, and we get it later on in Super. Like we get another Arale episode. So it's just nice. It's a really wholesome, nice moment, and especially with recent stuff, it hits a little harder. But Arale easily defeats General Blue, and he gets sent off flying. Goku has a new Dragon Ball. He has a new destination now too, with a new Dragon Radar, thanks to a baby. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it at all. But now we started getting into like the meat and potatoes of things. Like, if you remember earlier in this video, I had made a comment about how the Red Ribbon Army arc, it starts off kind of slow, and then like it gets to a point where it's just like, okay, this is the stuff I love of Dragon Ball. Here we are right here. Goku ends up in the land of Korin, which obviously has Korin's Tower if you've ever watched Dragon Ball. And if you want to know the origins of Korin's Tower, hey, here we are right here. Goku easily dispatches of that General Yellow, I think it was. I don't know, it was some tiger guy, and I think he had an Australian accent. No, not much to him. He drove a plane. Isn't that cool? Isn't that neat? But Goku ends up befriending a Native American boy and his dad, and he finally finds the 4-star Dragon Ball after what, weeks? I think weeks, or like a couple months. I can't recall at the time. After some time, he's finally found his grandpa's keepsake, the 4-star Dragon Ball, and he is so happy, he is so elated. He's celebrating with his friends, but the Red Ribbon Army has a trick up their sleeve. Mercenary Tao. Yeah, this is the Tao part now. This is the Tao Pai, if you will. Tao probably has one of the coldest openings, or like the coldest introductions, if you will, into a series, where like he shows up, also demands money, obviously, because he's a mercenary, but General Blue shows up, and Red is basically like, okay, Blue, you want another shot? Fine. If you can defeat Mercenary Tao, then I don't need Tao. I can save that money for you. That could be your bonus or something. And so Blue's like, all right, fine, cool, neat. Tries his little paralysis thing, doesn't work, and he dies by a tongue lashing. And if you think I'm just being goofy with that, nope. Mercenary Tao kills him by hitting him on his temple, on his dome right here, with his tongue. His tongue. So he takes a pillar, throws it to the land of Korin, and he's there in like minutes, and destroys Goku. Like, just plays around with him, and like the choreography with this part, because like Tao barely lifts up his hands. He's just like, he has him behind him, like kind of folded a little bit, and like he's just moving his feet, just like dancing as Goku's like trying to get him. Like, God, that might be my favorite part of this whole fight. There's also part 2 where it's like, it's done so quick and so smooth with the anime. Like, Goku goes in for an attack, and Mercenary Tao just like jumps up really quick. But like it's not like a jump. It's like a lower body jump, if you will. And then like he just like does it really quick, and then just like kicks Goku away. Like, it's done so quick and so seamlessly smooth. Oh, chef's kiss. It's glorious. Toriyama was cooking with that, and the anime was cooking with that as well. Goku tries to use the Kamehameha wave, and it does not work. All it does is basically just rip up Mercenary Tao's outfit, and he uses his own little attack. He thinks it kills Goku, but luckily the 4-star Dragon Ball is safe, and it kept Goku safe. Now, you may be wondering, okay, why was Goku so mercilessly going after Mercenary Tao? Because, you know, he's just showing up here trying to get the Dragon Ball. He could be a force, whatever. Like, Goku, he doesn't like this army, but he doesn't really fight to, like, really murder or to, like, really defeat somebody. But when Mercenary Tao literally comes by, takes a spear and drives it right through Bora, the little Native American boy's father, yeah, it's kind of bad. It's kind of really bad, yeah. And Goku's not around death that often, and Upa is just destroyed from this. Like, this is one of the first deaths we get in Dragon Ball. And spoiler alert, this is also the first revival in Dragon Ball, so there's that too. But Upa's crying over his dad, and it's just like, oh, great. Now Goku has to fight Mercenary Tao and avenge his dad. And like I said, easy work for Mercenary Tao. He takes Dragon Balls, goes out, but he left a Dragon Ball behind. And he's going to go get it in about 3 days' time because, hey, he's kind of getting a new wardrobe, man. He can't be doing this job in rags. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So what's Goku to do? What is he going to do? He can't beat Mercenary Tao. Like, he doesn't have time to really train. I mean, yeah, 3 days, what's that gonna do? Well, there is a way, and it's by climbing Korin's tower, because there's a legend with Korin's tower. Basically, if you climb the tower and reach it to the top, you'll meet Master Korin, and he's gonna give you the drink of water, and like the mystic water and all that, and it's supposed to give you unbeatable strength. And Goku climbs the tower. Like, he goes up. I think it took him like a day to get up there, but he makes it up to the top. And we meet Master Korin. And oh my gosh. One thing I love about Dragon Ball is the training. Hear me out. The training is always simple shit. Hear me out again. Because, like, okay, we saw the Turtle Hermit School and their way of training. It was basically doing chores with, like, weights on your back. Cool, neat, simple, easy. Because, hey, Goku and Krillin both knew how to throw a punch and a kick. So they didn't need to learn all that. With Korin, it's more of, like, reading your opponent and, like, gaining the experience that Goku just doesn't have time to do. So, yeah, Goku can have the sacred water. And I don't know why I said mystic water earlier, but Goku can have the sacred water. He just has to get it from Korin, who dodges Goku left and right. And we also find out that Korin trained Master Roshi. Master Roshi climbed the tower and did all this, but it took him 30 years to get the water. And Goku has only 3 days. So in those 3 days, like, this is where we start to get, like, the true battle genius of Goku, because, like, he starts to understand the concept of what Korin's talking about like breathing and all that. So, like, Goku starts matching Korin's breathing, and I love how they do this at, like, a night setting, because, like, both of them are going to sleep, they're getting their 8 hours and all that, but, like, as Goku's kind of drifting to sleep, he's trying to copy Korin's movements and, you know, matching his breath and, like, you know, scratching his face when Korin does and all that. And eventually, when Goku falls asleep, his body just innately starts copying what Korin does. And I don't know, I just think it's so cool, because it's like, you're starting to see now that Goku's starting to, like, learn this instinct, if you will. See what I did there for later? But Goku starts kind of understanding this concept, and eventually the next day he's able to get the sacred water, and we find out that the training itself was Korin, like, dodging Goku and all that, trying to get Goku to get the sacred water and all that from him. And yeah, Goku's ready to fight Mercenary Tao, which he does, and this round is much different than this first round, because, like, Goku actually stands a chance. Like, he actually is able to beat up Mercenary Tao a bit, and it's so cathartic. It's so cool. And Tao eventually tries to climb the tower because he's like, oh, you climb the tower? All right, bet. I'll go do it too. And Goku's able to, like, kind of replenish himself, eat a dinner and all that. And Tao, he gets up there. He gets the sacred water, but not really, because Korn's just like, you're kind of a dick. Here, take this cloud. Oh, by the way, the clouds disappeared. You just fell to the ground, idiot. Dumbass. But Goku's able to defeat him, and kind of in a way that Tao wasn't expecting, because he just busts out a grenade, throws it at Goku. Goku kicks it back at him, and Tao's dead. He's dead. I mean, I don't know what else to say with that, except Goku's now heading towards the Red Ribbon Army base. And honestly, I don't have much to say about Goku's time at the Red Ribbon Army base, because, like, he gets there, he starts just beating up people, and it's actually kind of funny, because, like, so with everybody else that was, like, left behind at Master Roshi's, they're just like, Goku's heading towards the base. We should probably go help him. So they all, like, get in the plane, start going towards the Red Ribbon Army base, fine, whatever. But, like, Goku's able to, like, push through, because they all think that he's Mercenary Tao coming back with the Dragon Balls. But, they find out the defenses are back up, and Goku, he gets through them, he gets to the base, and just runs roughshod on everybody. And this is where we find out that Commander Red had a different wish in mind for the Dragon Balls. Because you see, Commander Red, he's a very short person, very tiny person. Think of Lord Farquaad, but, like, maybe 50 pounds heavier. Yeah, that's Commander Red, and his wish was just to be a little bit taller, so that way he could rule the world. And his assistant, General Black, just shoots him in the face, and then becomes Commander Black. Now, I didn't want to say too much about Commander Black, because, reasons. just reasons. That's all I'm going to leave it off at. But he tries to put up a fight against Goku in the giant robot, but doesn't really work out too well for him. And the Red Ribbon Army's done. It's over. It's kaput. They're done. No more. No more Red Ribbon Army. The world is saved. Oh, man. Now we just need to get one more Dragon Ball, because Goku did promise Upa that he would revive his dad. But they can't find it. What can they do? How can they find the last Dragon Ball? Well, Master Roshi has a way. He has a reason. And he tells them to go see Fortuneteller Baba. And so Goku, along with Krillin, Puar, Upa, and Yamcha, end up going to see Fortuneteller Baba. And this is when we get another tournament in Dragon Ball. So the Fortuneteller Baba section here, basically another tournament arc here. We got 5-on-5 fights. First team to be eliminated loses, and if it's the customer team, they get their fortune told for free. And yeah, Krillin is up first against Fang the Vampire. He doesn't last too long against Fang the Vampire. He just kind of stabs him in the head, sucks out his blood, and that's it. That's one thing we start to learn about Krillin, especially in Dragon Ball. He underestimates his foes a lot. Like, remember back in the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, where Master Roshi was just like, I need to be a part of this tournament so I can stop my students from winning, so that way they don't get a big old head and they can keep improving themselves rather than just trying to do the next cool thing and be cool with it. And that's kind of Krillin's downfall here, because, like, he starts kind of getting a little cocky, a little too cocky, if you will, because, like, he probably could have beaten Fang, but he took his eye off the ball. And now it's up to Upa and Puar, who I love how they end up beating Fang by, like, looking like a cross, like doing a T-pose and all that, and, like, Puar changing into, like, garlic and onions or steaks and all that stuff. So cool, neat. Fang's defeated, and Upa and Puar just end up going somewhere else. Now it's Yamcha versus the Invisible Man, and if you haven't noticed yet, we might be having a theme with our fighters here. That's right. They are monsters from, like, monster movies and all that. So yeah, the Invisible Man versus Yamcha, and kind of the same deal with Krillin, where it's like, Yamcha could have defeated the Invisible Man, and he ends up defeating him, but, like, our lovable heroes have to go through a little extra steps. So first of all, Goku has to go find Master Roshi and Bulma. Why they didn't come along, I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. But they end up coming along. Krillin has a little plan. He just pulls down Bulma's shirt. Roshi has a nosebleed. It gets all over Invisible Man. Yamcha wins. Hey, now we're gonna move on inside to a new arena, which is like basically the devil's toilet. Like there's like acid on the ground and like a pool of acid, and like the fighters have to fight on like this bridge of tongues. Well, I mean stone tongues, but like tongues nonetheless. So Yamcha has to face off against Bandages next, and this mummy is no joke. Oh no, he beats up Yamcha pretty handily. And I mean Yamcha ends up losing, and Goku now has to take on 3 other opponents now. He has to do all the heavy lifting. I'm betting this is when Goku realized in his head, he's like, huh, I have to finish off everything for these guys, don't I? So Goku ends up beating Bandages. Hey, cool, awesome fight. And then he faces off against the Devil Man himself, Spike. And what's cool about Spike, and we get this with Master Roshi too, like apparently Spike is usually like Fortuneteller Baba's final ace. Like he's usually like the final person you have to fight. And he has this technique called the Devil Might Beam, which basically makes anybody who has like a negative thought or like a bad thought or an evil thought or anything, if there's any evil within you, you're dead. He will take that energy and just make you implode. Goku, being the ever pure heartist that he is, it doesn't work on him. And so he beats Spike. Boom, done, end of story. But like this is interesting that like Roshi mentioned that about like Spike being the final opponent. Because now with him being 4th and him like being the second to last person that Goku and his team needed to beat, who's this last guy? And it's cool because like the guy he's wearing a mask, but like he's wearing normal clothes that you would see and all that, but he also has a halo on his head. And I mean, I'm sure people back then kind of called it too, but like yeah, you kind of get the feeling this is Grandpa Gohan. And guess what? It is Grandpa Gohan. But Goku doesn't know that. Gohan is back here. He apparently knew that Goku was going to be coming. Or like Fortuneteller Baba knew Goku was coming. And Gohan was just like, hey, let me in on this. Let me see how strong my son has become. Or grandson or whatever. And oh my gosh, the fight that they have. It is so good. And especially knowing that Goku ends up emulating that fight later on in Super, just puts that little extra cherry on top for it. It's really good. And it's a really good moment too, because like Goku, he freaks out that like Gohan is here alive for one more day. And we see a moment of pure joy from Goku. Like, yeah, he has joy. He has fun wherever he goes. But like, this is one of those ones that like you can tell came from deep somewhere, deep inside. Like he's saying, oh, I missed you. I tried looking all over for you. Like, and especially now, like just now with Toriyama and all that, like it hits a little harder. And we have some back and forth with Gohan and Roshi about like Goku turning into an ape and all that. And Gohan's main thing here is just like Goku learning to strengthen his weaknesses, and his biggest weakness being his tail. So Gohan, like, he basically rips Goku's tail off. Like he's slamming him and all that, but like he just ends up like poking him out of the tail and all that. But with Gohan just surrendering after that, Goku has now won. He can now find the last Dragon Ball. He finds it. Apparently Pilaf had it and was able to like hide it in a box that blocked it from the Dragon Radar. So that was cool. That was neat. Hey, Goku's got it now. And now that he's got all 7 Dragon Balls, time to wish upon the dragon, get Upa's father back. And one really cool thing that I like that Goku does here, and I wish he did it more often, he studies the balls going up. Because like when you're done with a wish, the Dragon Balls go up into the sky. They are all up there, and then they all disperse into the earth. And they're inert for like a year, so you can't find them for another year. And then you can find them and all that stuff. But Goku, he studies where the 4-star ball is, and right before they're about to go across the land, Goku jumps up and catches the 4-star Dragon Ball. That's really cool. I wish he did that more often so we didn't have to like look for them, but circumstances, all that bullshit. But yeah, Upa's father is alive now, and that's basically it. That's where I ended up last time I watched it, and now Goku is off on his own. Master Roshi's like, look, you trained with Master Korn, you got the sacred water, you are well beyond my teachings. It's time for the world to teach you. Go around the world, we'll see you in 3 years at the next World Martial Arts Tournament. And by the way, no Nimbus Cloud. So now Goku is going to be traveling the world without the Nimbus. He's going to be on his feet, on his hands, just getting stronger and all that. And he's got 3 years to go until the next martial arts tournament. We also have that Yamcha. He wants to get stronger too, so he has Master Roshi to take him in as a student, which he does since Bulma will be around more often. Yeah, we've got our setup now. Our next destination is the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament. I'm excited for that one. That's one I'm gonna want to get like deep with like character stuff, because there's good character moments in there, and there's like some good conversations, and just like it might be my favorite arc. It might be my favorite arc of all Dragon Ball, but we'll come to that road when we cross it. But you know what? I've done enough talking. I've talked to your ear off for what, like 30 minutes or so? I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the Red Ribbon Army arc and the Fortuneteller Baba arc. I know I didn't get into too much detail with everything, but I want to talk to you guys about this stuff, and I want to hear back from you. Let me know what you guys thought. Again, my main issues with the Red Ribbon Army arc is just like the beginning part, just how slow it can kind of feel, but like the stuff with Muscle Tower is fun as hell. The stuff with General Blue is alright, but like Mercenary Tao and like beyond that is really good. And then of course Fortuneteller Baba stuff, like yeah, we get our fights and all that, and they're cool. I do highly recommend like going back and watching those fights. The main meat and potatoes with that is Goku versus Gohan and having that moment and all that. And of course having our first res of the series. So hey, that's cool, that's neat. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on these two arcs. Be sure to like the video if I entertained you in any way, shape, or form. Trying some new things here, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Why not subscribe to the channel? You don't want to miss me talking about the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, do you? No, you don't, because that is an awesome tournament. It is a great tournament. It has Tien Shinhan actually being relevant. Again, Dragon Ball characters being relevant. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, be sure to check that out. But the only way to do that is by subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon so you get notified of every time I upload a video. And as always, people, I've been your world champion, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.